point to it. Oh, yeah. Am I live now?
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you all are doing well today. Sorry we're starting a little bit late. It's power issue. So in case you're joining this live, just indicate. So let us start today's discussion. So on today's episode, I'm going to be talking, extensively on some fundamental issues. Yesterday, I responded to some inquiries of some real estate investors, more importantly, those who bought a pair. As at the time I'm making this video, I was also responding to several inquiries as well, and it's a very good one that people are gradually responding to some fundamentals and important things that has to do with real estate investment. Um, if I've been able to answer your question concerning what I discussed yesterday, if you still have further inquiries, my number is below my caption. You can check one of my videos. You can send me WhatsApp messages. You can place a direct call. You can also send us an email, and then of course my team and I will respond. Very fast to all your inquiries. So concerning Ekpe, I've explained extensively the typologies of land in Ekpe. I've also spoken extensively on what every real estate investor should pay attention to. So in case if you have missed it, of course the live stream is available on this channel. You can go over it again, and of course, like I said, if you have further inquiries, you can send us a DM, a message, or you can call us directly. We'll be so glad to respond. So a lot of people have been asking, what have you done for people? What can you do for us in case we choose to work with you? One thing about the King's Court Brown basically is that we put priority essentially on due diligence. And when I talk about due diligence, we spent a lot of money and then to ascertain the status of a property, and we do different kind of due diligence. We do security due diligence, we also do economic due diligence, and we also do legal due diligence. Over time we've been able to establish workable relationship even with some of the the natives, the inhabitants of that region, and that relationship has facilitated a lot of growth on the brand. And that's why I was talking extensively that there's hardly no place in Epe, Ibejuleki, or some places in Lagos that I'm not familiar with. So today I'm going to be talking about a question. I was in a conversation with a real estate investor yesterday, and after talking extensively, this particular person raised an important question, and he said, since real estate development companies are charging development fee, they are charging legal fee, they are charging every other fees before they allocate property to you. And he also said he has also patronized some real estate companies, and then they ended up disappointing him, and he was not quite happy with the response he got. He has not been allocated, and he said, is it truly advisable that some circumstances and situations happened, and then that was one of the reasons why I I went off. So I was talking about. So the person told me that since you have a working relationship with your onile and the likes, why don't you let us work together so that we can get properties and buy directly from them? And my response to this particular real estate investor basically is that it's not. I'm not disputing the fact that it is not possible for us to achieve this. I'm not limiting that possibility, but one thing I really need to explain on this live stream basically is that I'll be talking about, well, my own recommendations anyway. It is subject to your own, let's say, your own assessment, your own approval, and the likes. Now, the question is, would you advise, okay, a real estate investor to buy property directly from Omonile? Is it advisable? Will you do that? But it depends. It depends on the investor's choice. It depends on the person's um, purpose of purchase. You know, when we're talking about property acquisition, purpose of purchase is very, very crucial, very, very fundamental. And these are some of the things that we put into strict consideration. Now, I'll be explaining some of the challenges you will face on today's live stream. I'm going to be talking about some of the challenges you will face if you choose to buy land directly from onile, and I'll be giving this explanation based on three personal experiences. Now, have I bought land directly from Omonile? Yes, I have done that several times. How has the experience been? There have been several instances where the experience has been frustrating, and kudos to every sincere real estate developer out there who is always ensuring that most of these challenges and these problems that these guys bring, you don't face them. So to every real estate developers who are trying to ensure that there is no problem on the property you have bought, kudos to you guys. You guys are doing fantastically well. So yes, I've bought land from Omonile 3 times, and out of the 3 transactions I've done buying from Omonile, 2 have ended up, being frustrating, and that is it. But I'm going to explain some of the challenges you will face, okay, if you directly buy your land from Omoni, because I've received several inquiries from diasporan investors who said, I don't want to pay development fee, I don't want to pay statutory fee, I just want to buy my land and have access to it and do every other thing. Now, doing a peaceful land transaction or a property purchase from Omonile, number one, is dependent on the location. It's dependent on the location. And number two, is also dependent on the civilization we have in that area. For instance, there was a time in the history of property acquisition in Bejuleki. I have met, some notable real estate developers who are giving out cars to collect acres of land. Yes, in fact, those guys, those were the people that really, really took advantage of that. And of course, sometimes I've seen instances whereby these people have also, solidified the relationship they have with this Omonile, and they've also used it, as a tool, okay, to do what? To buy properties. Now, if you're buying a landed property, the challenges you will face is dependent on the location. It's very, very dependent on the location. I need to say this so that in case you choose to go ahead and buy land, you know what you should expect. And like I said, on the location, for instance, if you're buying land directly from Omonile in the places of Abramade Sonya, in the places of Ogombo, the places of Shangotedo, other parts of the mainland, after you have purchased the property, after you have bought the landed property and you want to build, there are some certain money that will be demanded from you. Something happened last year. We got a land in Shangotedo, and even I myself, I was not aware that we were supposed to pay that amount of money. After we paid the owner, we collected our documents. The day that transaction was done, the traditional ruler of that Songotedo asked, they sent us a message, so we went there. Now, on the purchase of that property, we were told that we are going to pay community levy, we are going to pay youth levy, they were also going to pay before we start work, like from foundation. There's amount of money you will pay if you want to do your foundation. There's amount of money you will pay if you want to do your decking, and there's an amount of money you will pay if you want to roof. So that means the amount of money you will pay when you are buying from Omonile, and the stress you will go through, is very, very tedious. Now, let me make some clarification. I said the challenges you will face is dependent on the location. I need to say this. There are some locations that after you have paid for your land and you have paid maybe community and the likes, you are good to go to work on your property and take possession of what you have paid for. But there are some locations that you will pay youth, you will pay community, you will pay for foundation, you will pay when you want to fence, you will pay when you want to do levy, when you want to do your decking, and you will pay when you want to do your roofing. Now, these are some of the experiences that some real estate development companies are facing. Now, a lot of people have approached me that why is this real estate development company charging 3 million for development fee? Why is this real estate development company charging 4 million for development fee? Now, what many of us don't understand is that if you are buying properties in Lagos, there are some people you will have to settle. Refusal to pay and settle these people will lead to long period of crisis and disagreements. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So these are some of the levies that you pay. So what we did basically was that the moment, and of course you should also know that after you have bought the land, if you want to get a family deed of assignment from that community, you are also going to pay. That is also another amount of money that is different. So these are some of the things that some real estate development company cover on our behalf. And this is why sometimes it's always like it's a free or a roller coaster where we just buy and we build. In some cases we are not aware of some of the challenges and some of the problems that these real estate developers are facing. So these are the likely challenges that you will face if you decided to approach onile by yourself. Now somebody said, dropped a message on the comment section in one of my live stream and said, I bought a property and all this fee you said they are collecting, they have not demanded for it, but and they said, what do I think? Am I trying to say? I said, see, the reason why basically I now asked the person these few questions. Have you started any meaningful thing in on your property you bought? He said no, that he's about to make arrangement for fencing. I said just have it in mind that the moment your workers get to site to start fencing, you will pay them. The moment you are putting the foundation, you pay them. I know the funny thing basically was that when I first experienced this in 2020, when we were new in the real estate industry, we found out that we wanted to take it up legally, and then we reported to the Ministry of Land as at that time, and they told us that even them themselves they cannot do anything, that what must go to the community must go to the community. So these are the challenges. Now, if you have bought a land from Omonile and you have to pay these levies, it is very important that you do proper recording of this. What exactly do I mean? Now, the land purchase I did last, we bought few acres of land in a community in Ekpe, and when we wanted to pay the family, when we wanted to make our first deposit, I went there with my own personal camera, and as they were signing, I was recording the entire process. As we were giving them money, I was recording the entire process. As they were issuing the family receipts, I was recording the entire process. And even as at the time that they were also, signing and doing the handover, because the reason why I've decided to do that basically is that peradventure, if issues happen in the future, I've seen instances whereby some family members can say that they sold that property under duress. And if you don't have conflict compelling evidence, sorry, if you don't have compelling evidence to prove your case in court, it might be quite unfortunate that you are trying to you may be making some costly decision. So that was why I did proper um documentation. I didn't just sign, I recorded everything. So in case you are doing that, if you are buying from Omonile or you are bought from Omonile, I will advise that you do your proper documentation. Now, in summary, will you suggest Omonile? Well, your choice is dependent on, like I said, at the commencement of this live stream, is dependent on you as a person. It's dependent on what you want, and it's dependent on what you intend to do. Now, I've seen instances whereby a lot of people have approached me and said, I want to do large acres of farming, and I don't think I want to go through the real estate development company because I don't want to pay all those other fees and the likes. And I've said, well, it's dependent. There are some instances whereby I've approached some families, and from my observation, I've advised investors not to have any dealing with such families. And then when you are buying from Omonile, it is very important that you investigate thoroughly. Now, if I talk about investigating thoroughly, a lot of people undermine this aspect because I bought a land from Omonile in 2020, immediately after COVID, late 2020, early 2021, and the experience was terrible. Terrible in the sense that, if not for the fact that I have some connections and I know some people, I would have lost that property. Now, this was what happened. Now, when we approached the family, despite my level of experience, my level of you know exposure in the industry, the people that sat down as the family member were five, and I also did one or two investigation and the likes, and I found out that those are the actual owner of that property. Now, unknowing to me, I never knew that this same family had cousins, I think from the maternal side, and these cousins also have legal claim to that property. Now, we have paid them, they have issued receipt, they have issued deed. Where the whole problem started was when we mobilized our workers to start clearing the land and to start working. Now, what happened basically was that at my place of work, I got a call that somebody, one honorable from somewhere, have arrested all our workers. They have damaged some of the materials we put on site, and there was problem. Now, the issue basically was that I didn't see this. Now, after we had to go to the police station to bail some of our workers, I went back to the family, and one of the reasons why we didn't lose that property was due to the fact that we know some people in some places. I won't go beyond that. Now, as I was surprised that as at the time we paid the family, we collected all our documentation, all our receipt, and every other thing. Every member of the family were in attendance. And I think one of the mistake I made basically was that I shouldn't have paid outrightly. If it had been an installment payment, okay, I would have probably have access to them. Now, the moment the problem started, we did not see anybody. The same house where that transaction was concluded, everybody went missing. And I had to assure the buyer, I said, Mr. Investor, calm down. We have seen situations like this. We will spend small money. We went to the police station. We reported the case. We present. In fact, the family incriminated themselves by giving us deed and every other thing. So they knew we bought from them. So what the police did basically was that we gave them the pictures, and this is one of the important advantage of keeping video records of your dealings with family members. If you're buying from them, if you must buy from them, it is very important you keep video dealing so that you have something to. So the advantage of the video recording I did at the time we were paying was that we got the face of the ballet, the head of the family, the signees, and in less than 2 days, trust Nigerian police. If they want to work, they are very fantastic. Those people were arrested. So after being arrested, they produced other members of the family, and we started having. I was going to position like back and forth. But to cut the long story short, after several arrests, and several legal cases, the family met with the people that arrested our workers, and the space of it took us 1 month to rectify this issue. It took us 1 month, and finally the issue was rectified. We now found out that where they sold to us was not their own land. It shows how very amazing these things can be. Where we were giving was not their land, so they took us elsewhere, and we needed to spend money over and over again. So these are some of the challenges you will face if you are buying from Omonile. Because the thing is that I found out that when it comes to legal ownership on the property, there is always a long list of families: father, mother, uncle, brother, cousins, nephews, name them. The lists are always endless. So it is always important that you do a thorough. So these are some of the things that the real estate developers face on your behalf. These are some of the things they, encounter. So if they are charging development fee for the honest ones, let me be specific. They have factored all these unforeseen circumstances, and you have bought a land, you are building. You don't know the sacrifices the real estate development company has made to ensure that you are building without stress. So people will say no omonile wahala. Now, for a real estate developer to come out and confidently say that no omonile wahala, trust me, that developer has done extremely well. So those are some of the things. Now, should I buy from omonile? Like I said, it's dependent, but I will always recommend that you buy from a real estate company that is reputable. Reputable in the sense that when we have land related cases, you are fully guaranteed that it will be resolved. Because if anybody is telling you that you are buying properties in Lagos and you will not experience such situation, it's a lie. It's a lie. I've seen several instances whereby they've been serious issues of dispute. But the most important thing is that if you are bought from a reputable real estate developer, there is actually nothing to worry about. Now, what should I look out for if I want to buy land from Omonile? Most times I don't always advise that, but after interacting with some investors, after giving some genuine reasons, I've seen need why they have to. Now I'm on the live stream. I'm not using that opportunity to say that I sell for Momonile. Based on what what I've encountered and what I've experienced, trust me, it's not always a good idea to buy directly from Momonile. For what I've encountered, so I will always recommend buy from developers. In as much as fact that you've done your due diligence, you are certain of the developer's credibility. You see those development fees, those service fees, those documentation fees. Trust me, they are taking a whole lot of problem off your neck. Trust me, they are. If I have not experienced it, I won't come out. When we had to, the last transaction we did, when we needed to engage the police, we needed to engage the lawyer. What we spent was times three of what the real estate developer charged selling land within that vicinity. So at some point, I was like, if I had known, I should have just bought these guys. But experience basically is always a good teacher. And as far as that location is concerned, so I've established a good relationship, okay, with the residents and of course the indigenous of that community. And I believe very well that if I'm to do any form of investment with them, either now or in the future, I won't make the same mistake. I definitely don't make the mistake, but I know what to do now. But for somebody who might be looking forward to invest, I would say that it is very important that just buy from developers. I beg. See the stress and those things are very very annoying and frustrating. So I'll um, recommend you buy from developers. But if you have the strength, the capacity for the unexpected, you can't. But that is just it. So those are my recommendations. Real estate developer or Omonile. Of course, like I said, I'm not affirming anything. You will be the one to make your decision based on some of the explanations I've just made. So this is where I'm going to draw today's cutting of today's live stream. Of course, we also help to assist with any form of real estate developers, and we also help you build a profitable real estate investment portfolio. We've done that several times, and we're still doing that till now. And by God's grace, we keep doing that for as long as we have the capacity to do so. So, in case you want to do any form of real estate investment, we are available. And trust us, with our experience, you don't want to go elsewhere. With with what we've done, with what we've encountered, I've encountered life threatening situations, but all these experiences makes me stronger. It gives us an opportunity to explore. So you definitely want to work with us. And of course, our next live stream will certainly be tomorrow. I was supposed to do another one today by 6 o'clock, but we'll be doing the next live stream by tomorrow. Thank you very much for those who have joined. I appreciate your time, and see you in my next video. Bye for now.